convenient for you. Please bear with us as we do some final settings for YouTube.
Yes. Got a lot of people joining.
Okay, cool.
Lots of waving.
And I'm going to tweet it out onto Twitter as well. So, hello, people coming in. 안녕하세요. You can ask us questions about anything related to the Korean language. I'm just typing on Twitter.
Are we live on YouTube right now?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, YouTube people. Hello, Instagram people. My eyes are terrible, so I'm probably going to have to go back and forth. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm sorry.
All right. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
So we're trying this for the first time.
Hola.
Hola. So yeah, this multi-screen live chat is a first for us. So please forgive us if we're a little bit lost. 안녕하세요. So, all right. So this is really live. And where are you from? We're coming to you live from Seoul, South Korea. And the weather isn't that gorgeous outside, so we wish we could actually have something to show you, but it's just all foggy. And yeah,
it is warm at least, but
yeah, it is.
The air is not so good.
The air is not very good today. So, all right, we have a lot of people joining us, both on Instagram and on YouTube. So let's answer some Korean questions. Okay, so you're from Peru, 과테말라, 그리고 또 어디?
Malaysia.
Malaysia. 좋은 아침이에요. Indonesia. Awesome. 지금 한국은 2시 10분이에요. 2시 12분.
2시 12분.
Yes. 12 minutes past 2. 안녕하십니까? All right.
Let me see if I can get this up so I can actually see without having to go up here to see
you're reading
the comments.
Here. Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Make sure. How come they don't? Loud. Sorry.
Minnesota, USA.
Minnesota.
So, okay. How to get our books, Dylan? You can get our books in bookstores in Korea if you ever visit, or you can also go to our online bookstore at mykoreanstore.com or go to our website at talktomeInKorean.com and get our books. And in fact, we're having a spring sale right now. So yes, and the spring sale ends in 2 days.
2 days. Yes. You can get up to 15% off of our paper books or ebooks.
Exactly.
And 30% off of our video course.
Yes. And there will be many, many video courses added to our site this year. So yeah, that's exciting. 그리고 인도네시아랑 2시간 차이 나요. Yes, 2 hours difference between Indonesia and Korea, I think. Right.
How to properly pronounce 의.
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 She just did that. 의. On its own, 의 is pronounced like that. Oops.
Yes, by itself it's pronounced like 의.
의. But in some words it's pronounced like e, and in some words it's pronounced like e. And also in some words it's pronounced like, in some regions it's pronounced as Yeah.
의리.
Like 의사. In some regions they say 의사.
의사.
의사. Okay. And why is 못해 pronounced as 못해? Not 모세. Okay, we talked about this in one video before. So if you look at this, 모해, we have that shield here. So it's, it looks like it has to be 모세 or 모세, but you actually stop right here, 못, and you don't, move your mouth after that, and then try saying 해 after that. Since your mouth is shut, 못해, T is a more natural sound that is made through this, so that's why 못해.
Right.
That's the pronunciation, okay?
Here's one from Ophelia Diaz. She says, how do you get to live in South Korea as a foreigner? Are we even allowed to live and work there?
Are you allowed to work here?
No, I'm not. Of course I am.
Yes.
So there's many different ways to live in Korea as a foreigner. It also depends a lot on which country you're coming from. Some countries have more powerful passports, if you will. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit easier
Yeah.
to get work and to be able to stay here.
Yeah, I guess it's a controversial topic, you know,
Right.
when you talk about the power of your passport.
Right. Mhm.
Koreans, we didn't have a very strong passport power in the past. I think Korea, you know, as a country is having a stronger and stronger, I guess, passport power.
Right, yeah.
But I think it really depends on the diplomacy between the two countries. But basically, there are many ways you can live and work here in Korea.
Right.
Especially if you're from one of the countries that have a working holiday pact with Korea.
Right.
I think you have to be under 30 years old. I missed that window. I found out about it when I was like 29 years and 10 months old. I
Oh, no.
could not apply anymore. So yeah, I think definitely go for something short at first. You know, do not kind of commit to something big and then regret later. Just do a 3-month study abroad program.
You can do study abroad. You can do the working holiday. Some people come here like to teach their native language. There's a lot of language, what would you call them? Like visas, like language teaching visas that you can get as well. But those are usually longer term. So that's usually like at least a year. Yeah. There's a lot of ways. If you do some research, you can find a lot of different ways.
Okay. And I see this repeated question here. How to say Jungkook is sexy in Korean?
Jungkook is sexy.
Jungkook, I think he's a member of BTS. No?
I have no idea.
Sorry, I have
Sorry,
no idea.
guys.
Is he? Yeah, so you can say whoever is the subject of the sentence, you can say so-and-so 씨는, Jungkook 씨는 섹시해요. The pronunciation is the same, sexy and 해요. 해요. Okay, if you say that, it means someone is sexy. All right.
Although normally when we're talking about K-pop, people won't say she; they'll say like oppa.
Yes.
Jungkook oppa.
Yeah, oppa.
Right.
If you're female.
Right. If you're female.
If you're female. All right. And what's the difference between 위경아? What's the difference between 자꾸 and 계속? 자꾸 is repeatedly many times, and 계속 is continuously with one thing, and or repeatedly. So 계속 is a more broad term.
Yes.
자꾸 is many times over.
Right.
Okay. Let's go over to Instagram right here.
Instagram, right? We haven't been looking at the Instagram.
Okay. Okay, we'll do some writing. All right. And then 쓰다 이용하다 mischief managed Knox asks how do you use 쓰다 사용하다 이용하다. 쓰다 is to use, 사용하다 is to use, 이용하다 is to use, but 쓰다, this one is most commonly used
when you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Make sure they can see.
Everyday life. 사용하다 and 이용하다 are more formal, like utilize, right?
Right.
Yeah. There you go. That's my answer.
You can use also 이용하다 when you're talking about using a person.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah. You can say 사람을 썼어요. I hired someone for usually manual labor work. 사람 썼어요. But 사람을 이용했어요. It's like, you know, you took advantage of somebody's nice nature, nice personality, right?
So you use them for your benefit.
Yes. Okay. So, what is the difference between Japanese people's faces and Korean people's faces? I can tell whether someone is from Korea or Japan.
Yeah,
Can you
I can
tell?
too.
Yeah. But I don't think there's one line difference between the two countries' people.
It's really hard to describe because I think it's not just physical features, it's also kind of the way that someone carries themselves.
Yes, exactly. The facial expressions and how they move and things like that when they converse with other people, how do they move their body?
And also fashion. Hairstyles, I feel like, can also give it away a lot too.
True.
Although if I had to explain it, I wouldn't be able to explain the difference. I can't really put it into words. Yeah,
but I think most Korean people can tell whether someone is from Japan or not, in most cases. And I think a lot of many Japanese people can tell that someone is from Korea or China. Like among these three countries, I think most people can tell.
Yeah.
And mainly, I think that's because, especially between Japan and Korea, Japan is a very homogeneous country. Korea is a very homogeneous country. So I think most people can tell, oh, He's from Japan. He's from Korea.
Mhm.
Chris Vo says, 공부해야 되는데요. You should be studying. Yes, please study with us. And if this live chat is distracting you from studying, you can go ahead and study. All right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. A. Baxt asks, why should I learn Korean specifically?
Why should you learn Korean specifically? Wow.
You don't have to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really depends on your own personal goals.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you want to, you have to learn it, of course, but it's not like somebody is asking you to learn it. And especially if you want to, I don't know, if you're into Korean dramas and movies, and if you thought maybe I want to live there, I want to experience what life is like over there.
Mhm.
I think without speaking much Korean, you can only see the surface.
Right.
Only the surface of it.
Mhm.
Like you can think to yourself, oh, I understand a lot about the culture, but it's
much different.
Much different.
Mhm.
So you gotta really start learning and start speaking the language until you can say, oh, I really know the language, the culture.
Right. That's how, personally, when I was learning Korean,
Yeah.
before I really could form sentences, I was like, oh yeah, I know pretty much a lot about Korean culture. Sure, I had been living here for, a year at that time, but it's so much different now that I can actually speak the language fluently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of nuances that you really miss if you don't know the language.
And sure, you will also find things that you don't like anymore once you start learning and speaking the language, because you understand people more.
Yes.
And you understand people more and you talk to people more, and then you still don't understand them, so you might be frustrated.
Right, yeah.
But still, I think that's better than not knowing the language. So yeah, if you want to try living here for a while, definitely learn the language properly and really well. Okay.
Here's a question from Jude. Is watching an English series with Korean subtitles helpful in learning Korean? I would say yes, especially if you're an intermediate learner. I feel that watching some, like a movie or any sort of drama series with the Korean subtitles, as long as you're paying attention to the subtitles, you can start to pick out words that you don't know. Like you'll hear it in English and then you'll read this and maybe you know the entire sentence except for this one word. You're like, oh, okay, so that probably means what they just said. And then you can kind of commit it to memory and then sort of use it later.
Unlike Chinese and Japanese, where you can see a character and still might not know what it's pronounced as, or you can hear something and you still have to know the Hangeul or the kanji characters behind those words to be able to show people, like, I heard this, like, what is it? Korean can be easily heard and written down in Hangul. Very easy to Hangeulize any sound that you've heard. Maybe you might be wrong, but it is relatively easy. So even if you don't have Korean subtitles, you can hear something and think, for a little bit, and then usually figure out. You can kind of get close to the actual correct pronunciation, correct spelling. Okay, how do I use KakaoTalk and make friends there? Is it easy to make KakaoTalk friends?
It depends. There, I forget what it's called. Is it just Kakao groups? There's a feature on Kakao where you can go and you can search for a keyword and it'll bring up chat rooms, public chat rooms.
Open chat rooms.
Right.
So there are regular chat rooms that you open to talk to people that you already know. And there are open chat rooms.
Right.
I don't think open chat rooms are a thing yet. I think the feature is there.
They're still kind of behind, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's not fully developed, but you can go on there and you can meet people with similar interests to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like the groups are more centered on people that are in Korea already. So if you're not in Korea, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to make friends, although you can make online friends, I suppose.
Yeah, I would say just go on sites or platforms that are more specifically geared toward language exchange partners. HelloTalk or some forums where people leave their KakaoTalk addresses, usernames, and you can add them. All right. And Mimi So asks, how should I start and with what? Grammar or vocabulary? Both. Vocabulary, of course, but with vocabulary, one word or two words, you can say meaningful things, but if you want to say something more specific, you need grammar, like what word comes before what word. That's grammar. That's basically it. There's nothing fancy about grammar. It's just, rules. Those are just rules that you need to remember to form sentences that other people will understand. So
Right.
both, yes. Okay, let's try to pick questions, kind of like one culture-related question, one basic question, and one hard question. How about that?
Okay, we'll try.
And one question about you.
One question about me. Well, here's one from, I hope I don't get your name wrong, Deja Davis. She says, I'm studying abroad here for 4 months. Are there any jobs I can get as a foreigner with intermediate Korean skills? Most likely, if you're studying abroad, you have a student visa, which means that you cannot work until at least 6 months. So probably not.
Yes, maybe if your visa allows you to work with intermediate Korean language skills, it really depends on who you get to meet. Maybe at small businesses.
Yeah.
Because it's just one person's decision, right? The 사장님, the owner of the business, likes you and they let you work there.
Right.
Other than that, in large corporations, there are just way too many steps that you have to go through, all these documents that you have to prepare.
Right.
Even if one person in a big corporation likes you, they have to persuade their bosses, direct boss and other bosses. So it takes a while.
Right.
Huma, how can I shop the Talk to Me in Korean books? So the thing is, of course, we post, how many lessons do we post each week?
We post 5, right?
5, from Monday through Friday. And we have hundreds of podcast lessons that are spread, across the internet. And many people have downloaded our free podcasts and also podcast lessons, which is appreciated because they're spreading the word about us. But a lot of people don't know that we have big books. Can we show them?
Yeah.
So we're gonna want. By the way, if you are interested in an office tour, we can do that. So these are all of our published books. Yay! And the books are sent every day for the world by our publishing company and shipping agency, not by us personally.
Yes.
So you can buy our books on our online bookstore, mykoreanstore.com. Yes, thank you. The cable. All right. Can the Talk to Me in Korean books be shipped to South America? Yes. You're from Ecuador. One thing to note, though, our books do arrive, and we get a lot of emails from people asking about books, and sometimes for like really understandable reasons, they're delayed, but sometimes they're delayed. The shipments are delayed for really unclear reasons.
Yes.
But they do arrive, and if something happens along the way, we do take responsibility for most of the cases, right? So don't worry about it. We'll sort it out whenever something happens, but most people just get their books sometimes, usually faster than they expect.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You're waiting for the level 2 book to arrive in Brazil. Is though for you. Thank you. Kyungwon is in the chat on Instagram. What are you doing? Are you spying on us?
안녕하세요.
Okay. Joshua Choi asks, 주변, 주위, 근처 차이가 무엇인가요? What's the difference between 주변, 주위, 근처? 근처 is, 근 is close, 처 is a place. So it's a nearby place. 이 근처에 있어요. 근처. So it's like a one direction thing. You're looking in this direction, it's not far. 주변 is in this neighborhood, in the area. 주위, it can be in the area, but it can be more figurative too.
Right.
You can, 주변 can be figurative as well. Like I can ask you, 주변에 재미있는 친구 많아요? Do you have
many fun friends in the area?
Around you.
Yeah,
around you or in the area, or 주위에. So around you, it can be figurative or I guess related to the geography. But 근처 is really just close by. All right. I think our co-workers came back from lunch.
Everyone's wearing masks.
All right, show them.
So you can see the weather is really bad.
Come closer.
Oh.
Hi.
마스크 벗어주세요.
지금 저희 밥을 먹고 네 마스크를 좀.
Okay, they'll join us later. Okay, you shouldn't forget the cable.
Don't let the battery die. Hola. Aliaye. Hola.
Where? Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Lots of waving.
Cha R Sila says, Teacher Cassie is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Is the camera foggy? Okay. 부산 사투리 할 수 있나요? I can understand and
부산 사투리.
yeah, I can mimic a little bit, but 석진 is a master of
The master.
부산 사투리.
What is 부산 사투리?
부산
What's an
사투리?
example?
어디 가노?
어디 가노?
Like, yeah, like no.
가가.
Yeah, so between like when you speak casual language, a lot of I probably won't be able to represent Busan dialect accurately, but I can give you the rules. 뭐해, like so and so 해 is 뭐하노. 뭐하노. Like
뭐하노.
what are you doing in casual language?
Is 오빠야? Is that Busan?
오빠야. Yeah, 오빠야.
오빠야.
Yeah. And what else? Yeah, I'll think about it a little more. And Ania says, 한국어를 더 빨리 어떻게 한국어를 더 빨리 말할 수 있어요? Speaking fast or
Faster.
learning faster? Speaking fast is just purely
practice.
Purely just through practice. Okay. Yeah.
If you're talking about actual talking speed, one method I feel like that's really good is pick like a phrase that you want to say and start by saying it extremely slowly, and then keep saying a little bit faster, and then a little bit faster, and then a little bit faster until you can get as fast as you can.
Yeah, like a Korean rapper.
Yeah.
Aim for that and pick a rap song. Maybe really, if you like Korean rappers, you can analyze their lyrics and try to start by reading them out slowly and then speed up a little by little.
Do it to the rhythm.
Yes.
To the beat.
제이민수, 평범한 대화는 잘할 수 있는데 뉴스 볼 때 어려워요. Talk to me in Korean이 도움이 될 수 있을까요? So you can carry normal conversations well, but news can be difficult. Yes, we actually have a new course on news. So she is the teacher for that video course, News in Korean. Maybe you can study with that. We have a News in Korean book. So
right, and the video course right now is on 30% sale.
Yes,
so if
yes.
you want to try it,
yes,
now's the time.
Yeah, all the sale-related information can be found on talktomeinkorean.com or mykoreanstore.com.
Right.
Okay, CYM asks, will there be Talk to Me in Korean hoodies like the one you're wearing, Hyunwoo?
That's the one I was just looking at. Yeah. Are there going to be?
Not in the near future. I just made it. There's only one.
He only made it for himself. He's so selfish. He didn't get any of us anyone.
Do you want one?
Sure.
Nobody else wants one.
Nobody else wants one?
Yeah.
Really? I'll take one.
Yeah. Hyunwoo hates it when I make Talk to Me in Korean anything, like except for books. She's ashamed.
TTMIK 엄마.
Yeah, she's embarrassed to see me wearing
언니.
Talk to Me in Korean clothes.
TTMIK 언니.
who is in my back? Nobody.
No.
That's common, by the way. Okay, 탈퇴하다. Luri asks, hi, Talk to Me in Korean. Could you please explain what is 탈퇴하다 and how can it be applied to non-Korean websites and mobile games, as we usually do not have account deactivation function. Hello from Russia. 탈퇴. So 탈퇴 is not only a concept that is applied to websites. Of course, it is on websites. You join and then you leave.
Right.
But I think it might have to do with the fact that many Korean websites used to collect so much personal information. Your 주민등록번호,
Right.
your, what is it in English?
Like
Your
social security.
sort of like the American Social Security number, SSN. It's like your residency number, like your
residency number.
Identification number.
Yeah.
And your address, your phone number. So by 탈퇴, you can ask them to remove all the data. But these days, websites just allow you to do social logins, and they don't really have that concept. I don't know, but 탈퇴, I think, stems from that. And 탈퇴 can be applied to real groups in real life.
Right.
You can join a club, an activity group, and then you can say 탈퇴하겠습니다. I'm out. Yeah. And 탈퇴 is used about idle members leaving groups too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Someone actually said something. It's not a question, but Lady Redbush says, "Thank you for suggesting journaling for practice. I journal every day and it helps so much."
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. I used to write a lot in English when I was trying to learn it in high school. So journaling helped a lot. And of course, even if it's not in the form of like real journaling, letters, emails, KakaoTalk messages, anything, any way you can form sentences on your own, new sentences.
Right.
Copying and writing down the example sentences that you see in our books or in our lessons, those are awesome, but it helps. But actually forming your new sentences is much more helpful and much more challenging, and that creates new neural pathways in your brain. So
that actually made me think of something, because I'm learning Spanish at the moment. One of the things I've been doing to kind of change up my routine, because all my language learning, I've always like done the same thing. I had my notebook and I wrote down my words and my stuff, everything in the notebook. So now I have a really big window that goes out to my veranda.
I see.
And so on that window, I take a whiteboard marker.
Not a figurative window.
A real window.
Okay.
I have a real window.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
your
take
place.
a whiteboard marker. And I'll add sentences. Like I'll be listening to a Spanish podcast, and if they say a word, I'm like, okay, I want to remember that, so I'll make a sentence on my window while I'm listening to the podcast.
Yeah, that helps.
It's been helping a lot. So there's a tip for you guys. Try that out with your Korean.
Awesome. Okay, and Tui Nguyen, 인터넷으로만 가르치고 있습니까? Are you only teaching on the internet? Yes, we are.
Yes.
So I think we will continue to teach mainly only on the internet. Unless we open an actual school, we never know. But
right.
Chris asks, Hyunwoo, do you ever bring June to the office? The last time I brought him here was, I think, in the fall. He goes to school, like kindergarten. So when I bring him here, it means he has to miss school, and it's not a problem if he misses school. But then I also won't be able to work.
Right?
Yeah.
Jun has a lot of energy too.
So he won't just come here and
sit down.
He won't say to me, Daddy, okay, you do your thing. I'll be here fine.
No, play with me.
He will want my attention or somebody's attention. So he will take, I guess, about 2 persons worth of energy, absorb everything before he goes home. I have 2 sons. And okay, I'm just answering Laura's question.
Laura's question? Where are you finished?
Oh yeah.
The answer. Okay.
You can answer.
So Marisha Kiran asks, please tell me if there's any caste system in Korea. So while it's not exactly a caste system, there is like, there's kind of classes. They're not like set in stone or anything, but there's kind of sort of like the Confucian idea that, your elders are always to be respected kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that sort of hierarchical.
Yeah, not very systematic.
Yeah.
Like nothing set in stone, like you said. Not set in stone, not set in paper.
Yeah.
Your identification card doesn't say your caste or your class, but I think Korea is more affected by the age system, which I think is being challenged by many young people. They say age doesn't matter. Like more and more people are saying that, and I think it's meaningful because just because you're older doesn't mean you're wiser. And
Right.
I made a video about that on Talk to Me in Korean. And I think a lot of people agree with me on that. I think older people should have more respect for younger people.
Right.
You know, so I think that's going away, but still, I think if someone is older, they will probably think they are
Worthy of respect.
Yeah, worthy,
or
like
wiser.
they're entitled to more respect.
Right.
Okay. I love these comments. Thank you.
You guys got to stop inflating his ego.
I mean, I don't.
So someone says that he looks extremely young.
Yeah. My ego is too big, apparently.
It's not necessarily that it's too big. It's just that when we get a comment like that, it's always, hey guys, look at this comment. Look.
Yeah. I always make sure that I screen capture everything without everybody noticing, and then I frame it. And
you frame it.
Hang it on the wall.
You have like a shrine at home. Is that what it is?
Well, I decided to just make a shrine in my head.
In your head, okay.
Because sometimes people do come over to my place.
Well, I mean, you could have like a little locked closet or something.
No? Well,
Okay.
waste of space.
Oh, okay. So your ego's not that big yet. Okay.
Not that big. It's probably bigger than everybody else's here.
I wouldn't deny that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it possible to become fluent in Korean within a year? I'm traveling next summer. I think it is definitely possible, depending on how you study.
Right.
If you really spend a lot of time, maybe hours a day, and really, really actively study, why not? Right?
But you got to be really diligent about it, definitely.
Yes, very diligent. Like not enough, people actually put in enough hours, like actively forming sentences. But I think I always emphasize how it is important to form your own sentences.
Right.
Because after, I know many people study with us for many years, and their understanding skills go up really, really rapidly. But then when they meet us, they're like, oh, I understand everything you say, but I will not speak it now.
Yeah.
But you gotta find the balance. Okay. Thank you. Lots of thanks messages. Thank you so much. All right. Karen says, I love your kids. Can I be the babysitter? We don't have any babysitters now, so maybe. We don't need one for now, but thank you. Okay. Cassie, Sneak Peek says, do you like female K-pop groups?
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of K-pop, like to begin with. I mean, I was when I first started learning Korean, like 10 years ago. But since I've been in Korea, I don't know, I've slowly started to kind of not really like K-pop. So if I had to pick a female group, it would probably be 2NE1, and they've already disbanded. So it's kind of like I'm way back in the day.
I think you and I are similar in that we just like certain songs.
Right.
And I can like a song a lot, and I can play that song maybe 3 times in a row. And that's a lot for me. Playing the same song 3 times in a row in the car or when I'm walking, that's a lot. That person has won something big from me, but I might not know the artist. I might not know who sang that song. So.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know like any of the artists of any of the songs that I've heard recently. Although I do kind of like Blackpink because they're kind of like the new 2NE1 sort of. But I don't like actively go out and look for Blackpink songs or anything like that. Just kind of like if I hear one and I like it and they're like, it's Blackpink, I'm like, oh, hey, cool.
Yeah. Here's a study method question. Gianna Fiona asks, is it okay to learn phrases first before words? And I think it's totally okay.
Yeah.
You can practice a phrase and then try to swap words. Okay, if you're comfortable with a certain phrase, maybe take out a word, add another word, and see if it works.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay. I'm going to.
Are not to Louisa
Mhm.
asks, this is for me actually. What
right.
culture shock did you have, Cassie, when you moved to Korea?
Mhm.
Oh boy, there was a lot. These days it's hard for me to remember though, because I've been here so long.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, can't remember like the biggest ones. The one that still gets me though is, and I know that that a lot of Koreans don't like this either, but it's the spitting.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
like middle-aged
Yeah,
Korean
yeah, that's the
men.
thing. That's I don't know if someone could actually pull some specific data. I don't think there's any stats, but I think that's the number of people, the proportion of people, Korean people who spit like in public must be really small.
Yeah.
I think. I want to believe so, but I think they stand out so much that
Right.
to a lot of people who visit Korea, it's a shock.
Yeah.
Like, so they can go back and think, oh, Korean people spit a lot, but I don't know anyone personally who spits out in the public, and I would say something about it if someone does that in front of me. I would really like get upset about it. But then all the people that I see spitting in the streets, they're strangers.
Right.
They're all also smoking.
Right, exactly. A lot
Smokers.
of times they're smokers.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a small portion of the population.
Yeah,
but
it does stand out.
Yeah, it can leave like really bad, lasting images in your head.
Right.
So it's terrible.
And along with that, also another culture shock that I just remembered was, especially when you're with like parents of your friends who are Korean. So if you have Korean friends and maybe you go out to eat and their parents are there too, a lot of times they will insist that you eat food. Like they'll start to feed you and stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially if you go to a barbecue restaurant, they have lettuce leaves. It's called sam, and they'll like samsa. They'll have like this big like ball of lettuce that has like meat and like side dishes and rice in it, and they ball it up and they'll like go ah. You know, like you're like our daughter too, you know, kind of thing. I like that aspect, but I can't fit that much food in my mouth. So I'm like, what do I do?
I think it's based on the caring culture and everything, but then also it can be overwhelming. One funny story I can tell you is not one story, but whenever I visit my relatives, I tell them specifically, like, as I'm entering their house, I already had lunch, or I will have dinner in 1 hour. I'm just here to say hello, and I have to go in 10 minutes. And they say, but you have to still eat,
Right.
It's maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's them personally deciding. I think it's the culture behind them,
right,
forcing them to just do it. It's logically thinking, when someone is telling you, oh, I ate 2 hours ago, it's the craziest thing to start cooking right away.
Right.
But then they just can't fight it. They just can't fight the urge to do it. And they might think, oh, I heard what he said. I heard that he just ate 2 hours ago, but he might think, badly of me, if I don't do something, cook something for him. So I don't know. It's a cultural thing. But for people who visit Korea for the first time, this might be really overwhelming, and it is overwhelming for me too.
Yeah, it was like very shocking for me the first time, because we don't have that in America, that sort of culture. So it was like, what is this?
And we have a super chat comment. Thank you for $2, Miles B. Jr. What can I do to comprehend Korean speech? Simply put, you need to have an understanding of different components,
right?
Grammar, pronunciation, and you need to know the vocabulary. That's all we can say. And if you don't know where to start, please go to our website, Talk to Me in Korean, and there will be a Start Here button, talktomeinkorean.com/about us, and you will see our first lessons. And by the way, can we talk about the construction of the website, because we're working on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't tell you when it's coming,
Yeah.
but it's coming later this year. And yeah, we will make learning Korean much easier.
Yes.
Finally. Finally, like
long time planning.
Yes. I believe that with our lessons, it is easier to learn Korean than with other materials, but this is going to be a game changer. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited about this too. Okay, do we sell Talk to Me in Korean merch as well? We don't. This is just my personal thing. I made one hoodie made with Talk to Me in Korean. Next time I'll add a hashtag here.
Hashtag. I keep saying we need to make merch, but
I keep saying that too, but
yeah.
we don't have enough power.
We don't. Yeah, we're not powerful enough.
Yeah.
All right, where did that question go? There was a question that I wanted to answer, and I like your username. G means thick lips. Do you need a Korean passport to visit Korea? No. You need a visa, though, most likely. It depends, again, on which country you're coming from. You'll have to do the research for yourself. But some countries, you can come on a, what is it? Is it a traveler's visa? It's like an automatic visa, so you can stay for 90 days, but you have to leave before the 90 days are up. Yeah,
so it really depends on the country, but for most people from most countries, you get a 90-day entry visa.
Right.
And yeah, you must leave after that, but you can come back very easily. And how old are we? I was born in 1980. She was born in 1980.
89.
But still, still the same decade, so it's the same thing. I'm as young as she is.
Still the same thing. Almost a 10-year difference, come on.
Still the same decade.
True.
We were both, let's say we were born in the 80s.
Right. We're both 80s kids, 80s babies.
All right. Can I swim to Korea? From where?
Yeah, it depends on where you're swimming from.
All right.
I mean, you could try, but you might die.
And we have a visitor coming soon from another company, so we can't stay online for much longer, maybe 10 more minutes. I think she'll just, knock on the door. But do you want us to do these live chats more frequently in the future? Let us know. And
is that a question though, really?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure they do.
So because we post 5 days a week, it's actually a lot of work.
Yes,
and
it is.
While we're posting 5 videos a week on the website and on YouTube, in the back, we're also making books.
Right, making books.
Making video courses. It's crazy busy right here.
Translating things.
Yeah,
answering emails.
Yes, you do answer.
I do all the emails.
Yeah, all the emails. So if you have maybe simple emails to write to Cassie, you can write at admin@talktomeinkorean.com.
Yes.
But yeah, you would like less emails, right?
Well, these days they're getting more and more and more, so it's getting harder and harder to keep up. So
yeah, it might mean that we're becoming more popular.
Yeah, we're growing. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. I'm not complaining at all.
Maybe we need one more person to do that job.
Yeah, it's getting a little hard to handle. I can still handle it. It's just getting a little bit hard.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there any other question? I saw a question on Instagram earlier. What was it? Where did it go? Wish upon a failure says no, never. To the question of should we do more of these?
Someone said every day and longer. Interested in hiring? Are we interested in hiring? We're thinking maybe in the future we will need more Korean teachers and someone like Cassie as well. And I think the next person we will hire is another Korean person, Korean teacher, but no planned hiring yet, but a little later in the year. But we want to keep the team small so that we can be flexible.
Right.
We already can't fit in a car and go somewhere,
Right.
6
well,
people.
we've done it once.
Very
It wasn't comfortable, but we did it.
Yeah. Okay, what's the difference between 수고하세요 and 수고했어요? 수고하세요 is when you say bye and you are acknowledging that person's hard work, currently continuing hard work. And saying goodbye when somebody's working. 수고했어요 is, or 수고하셨습니다 more appropriately, is thank you for the work you have done.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the difference.
We've got a super chat. Swim
Verona.
from Seattle to South Korea. That's going to take a while. But what is the difference between 때문에 and 왜냐하면, and how to use them in a sentence?
왜냐하면 is only used in front, like at the beginning of the sentence. 왜냐하면 so and so. 때문에 is never used in the beginning of the sentence.
Right.
So 때문에 is used after a noun.
Right.
너 때문에.
너 때문에.
Because of you.
나 때문에.
Or 비가 오기 때문에. So and so 기 때문에. You change it into the noun form 기 and 때문에.
공부하기 때문에.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This was the question on Instagram here. We have Slew94547. What city is Cassie from? I am from...
Don't block.
I know, I'm not trying.
person.
I'm sorry, I almost blocked you. I am from Jacksonville, Florida.
Uh-huh.
I think it's the third largest city in the world by landmass.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. And Caro and Perez says, I can teach you Spanish if you teach me Korean. Oh, language exchange.
Oh boy. I wish I had time for a language exchange.
Yeah, but you can at least show your progress.
I need to start actually practicing.
Yes. Could you please make a video about politics? We'll consider that.
Politics.
Korean politics? Or it can be a long video.
Yeah. There's a lot to say, but I always worry about making political videos because people can get really heated about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's make a video about politics without talking about politics too much. Like
we could political terms.
Yeah, or what Korean politics is like.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, how do you say traveler in Korean? 여행객 or 여행자. 여행자 is more of a poetic term. 여행객 is more like a news term. Or 관광객, tourist. Both of your smiles are beautiful. I want more comments like this.
Oh, thank you. She said both.
All right.
Said both. They said both.
How do you read prices in Korea? You just
prices.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You just read the numbers and then add 1 after that. One is the Korean currency.
Not one.
Yeah, 1. But the pronunciation.
It's very similar.
최수현 says, how to say I did nothing wrong. 저 잘못한 거 없어요. 저 잘못한 거 없어요. 저 잘못한 거 없어요. Jennifer, Young or Kong, which one is the Sino-Korean and which one is the native Korean? Both Young and Kong are Sino-Korean, I think. Yeah, Sino-Korean. Young comes from ling, like Chinese 0. Kong is empty.
Right.
Yeah.
Lizbeth10 says, Cassie, did you become fluent in the language before you moved to South Korea? No. Before I came to South Korea, I had been learning for about like a year seriously. But my Korean definitely was not even conversational yet. I thought it was until I came here and realized I couldn't say anything.
Yeah. There's a difference between understanding a fair amount of the language before you go to the country and actually going to the country and realizing all these things. Like there's a question related to that. What do checkout people say in Korean when they ask you if you want a plastic bag? They say, what do they say? 봉투 드릴까요? 봉투 필요하세요?
Yeah, right. 봉투 필요하세요.
봉투 필요하세요? They say 봉투 is an envelope or a plastic bag. 봉투 필요하세요?
Right.
Do you need a plastic bag? Do you need a bag?
Do you need a bag? They don't usually ask like paper or plastic. Like in America, a lot of times they'll say paper or plastic. But here they just ask, do you need a bag?
Yeah, 봉투 드릴까요? 봉투 필요하세요? They often say 봉투 필요하세요. And the same thing, even after learning to speak fairly, a lot of English, I guess. I went to the UK for the first time back in 2006. on my first trip to an English-speaking country, and then they all said, the people at the counter, they all said, "Do you need a bag with that?" And I only heard the part "bag with that," and I was like, "What's bag with that?"
Bag with, you thought
Bag
it was
with-
like one word.
Yeah.
Bag with that.
Yeah, bag with that. And I heard, need bag with that. I thought bag with that was some kind of British something, And 봉투, 봉지, 봉투 is supposed to be an envelope.
Envelope, yeah.
봉지 is like a plastic bag.
Mhm.
But in shops, they interchange these words.
Mhm.
Like 비닐봉투 or 비닐봉지.
Right.
Okay. How do I say I'm allergic to something? You can say the name of the food and say 알레르기 있어요. Some people say allergy.
Allergy.
Yeah, but the
I
national.
feel like allergy is like more common these days. Like it's more of
Yeah,
a modern way of saying it.
But interestingly, the National Institute of the Korean Language, they say 알레르기 is
Right.
the standard.
That's what I learned when I came to Korea first. I always learned allergy, but
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of said like snickered at me like
Yeah.
that sounds old.
Yeah,
Like,
and CYM, when you start working on level 10, we have currently 2 lessons out on level 10. We know we have to do this, but we haven't been able to do it. But along with the new website launch, relaunch of the website later this year, we will have the 10th level. Okay, thank you for waiting. And maybe answer, how about 2 more questions?
2 more questions.
Yes.
Fine, I'm trying to find a good one then. If only an answer to
They're all good. But
they're all good, but
some of-
like a really
Yeah.
like something we haven't answered before.
Yeah, something that
and-
won't inflate my ego any further, according to Cassie.
I saw one earlier. Here it is. Park Seung-woo
Mhm.
says, "What does this mean?" Dear Leo. So,
Leo?
Leo.
Leo.
And
Okay.
we have the guest here.
Mhm.
I don't understand why there is a dear there.
Ah,
So the dear is putting it in the future tense.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
잠시만요. 네.
So yeah, it's putting it in the future tense. So if you say like 하다 is to do something, and you say 할래요, it's saying I will do it.
I see.
Mhm.
Yeah. Leo. So Leo is either expressing your intention to do something,
Right.
or when you're asking, like, do you want to do something? It's a very natural way to say, do you want to? No. So I can say, do you want to go? 갈래요?
할래요?
갈래요? If I said 가고 싶어요, it would be a bit weird.
Mhm.
It's like also 갈래요 is when you're going to go together with the person.
Right.
가고 싶어요 is like, do you want to go? Go.
Yeah. Also, something. It has a little more nuance in it. It took me a while to really understand what this grammar point meant.
Yeah.
So another example would be like, often I will eat lunch here in the office, and everybody else will go out without me. So they kind of just now because I
By
always,
your choice.
yeah, by my own choice,
Okay.
because I'm on a diet and I try to eat really healthy. But so I will eat here, and now that I've eaten in the office so much, usually people they'll just go and they'll say, hey, enjoy your meal, and maybe someday I actually want to go with them. I'll get 잠깐만요, 나도 갈래요.
Yeah.
I'll go too. I
Yeah.
will go too. I
Yeah.
want to go too. Kind
Exactly.
of thing. 나도
갈래요.
갈래요.
나도 갈래요. or 저도 갈래요. You can say that. I think we'll wrap up answering questions here because we have
Our guest
have
just
the
came.
guest that just came in. But before we go, I would like to have everyone say hi and bye.
Hi and bye.
All right. Starting from whom? That's our office. This is the entire office. It's not a big one, but big enough for us. And Seokjin likes to stand and work. And then Hyunwoo.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. What are you working on now? Are you working?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm not listening to music.
You're not watching a movie?
No,
Okay.
I'm watching a YouTube video.
My video?
Talk to me in Korean video.
Okay.
I was going to listen to music.
And then I gotta read this. Seokjin is so handsome. This is Juyeon.
Hi.
What are you working on?
I'm editing.
Oh, nice. Keep working.
Get back to work.
And that's my seat here. And that's Hyunwoo's seat. That's Cassie's seat.
Mine is way in the corner. You can't even see it.
All right. Let's have a grand finale by showing the corner office of Cassie.
It's a mess right now. But okay.
Yes. All right, guys. Yes, organizing a meetup. We want to do it soon. If we can, let's do it sometime. Maybe April or early May. Yeah.
When the weather's better.
When
Hopefully.
the weather's better. Organizing a meetup is a lot of work.
It is.
And we also have to think about what we will do once we meet people, because we don't want to, just shake everybody's hand and then say bye.
Yeah.
We want it to be a more meaningful experience than just a group photo session.
Mhm.
So
Maybe we could do something like a picnic, something outside.
yeah,
Yes.
and yes, let's do that. And last question: who came up with the color scheme for the office space? It looks so good. Thank you. It was actually done by my sister. My sister is the designer for most of our books,
Right.
the majority of our books, and my sister's husband is an illustrator, very talented illustrator who did many of our books. So yeah, we trust her decisions in terms of book design. So that's why I'm working with her. And her being my sister sometimes is not so good, because sometimes I feel like I'm the one who's paying her, but then she's like, oh no, don't do that, delay the deadline. But because she's my sister, she can actually be very upfront with her opinions. And usually whenever I listen to her ideas, it works out great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've got a little bit of not really a fight, but a lot of people saying, do it in June, do it in May, do it in April, because I'll be there. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be hard to decide, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to flip a coin.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do
Roll some dice.
one a month, maybe. We'll see. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We gotta go now.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye, Instagram.
Bye.